Welcome back. Today on the Daily Drop, we're going to take a few minutes and answer a listener's question and really unpack something around content.
Hello, Vicky. So my showstopper is that I think that I don't embody everything I wanted to share. And this is a huge pack for me. And also, I don't know how to say it. I don't know what to say. Maybe the message is not received. So these are the most struggles. I post nothing. So yeah, that's my story.
Okay, so first, I hear you. I hear you when you say that it's really hard to embody your message. And there's so much around this, right? The whole Content by Design course is based on getting you to embody your entire message so that it's really easy for you to say exactly what you came here to say, to understand how you have to say it and who you're saying it to. And yes, I will give you some tips in this episode. What I love about leveraging your human design to find your voice is that it doesn't matter if you have 16 other careers in your life. Your voice is always going to be your voice and your message is always going to be your message. And when you can really stand in your human design, you can use that message in anything and everything that you do. So first, let's talk about I don't know what to say. So in your human design, there are a lot of places that your message lives. So many times we hear in the human design space, your Mercury is your message, but it's so much more than that. Let's start there. Look at the gates of your Mercury and see what those gates have to say. Study them in the gene keys, study them in human design, and see what they have to say. In my world, they are not a hard and fast black and white. This is what I'm talking about. Mine is gate 27, which is all about nurturing, right? It's mama bear energy. Do I always speak about nurturing? I worked with a human design coach once, and she was hellbent that I needed to be a self-love coach. And that's not my vibe. If you've been here a while, you understand that's not my vibe. Should we love ourselves? Yes. Am I going to talk all day long about it? No. I don't want to. It doesn't resonate with me. It's not who I am. But what I hope that you hear from me is that I nurture you through my intensity. My intensity is always going to come out, but I am always speaking fire in love for you. And that is how I use one of the gates of my Mercury. So I think stepping away from the fact that I know my Mercury is what I'm here to communicate, so how am I going to communicate exactly what that is? It flavors your communication. Another big piece of the puzzle, and I'm going to do a weekly episode on this because it's a deep dive, is your profile. Your profile in your human design is really who you are in the movie of your life. It's the role or the character that you're here to play in the movie of your life. We had a conversation in BG5 this week where people were saying, I don't understand why people don't stand more in their profile. And I can tell you exactly why people don't stand more in their profile. It's because that's the thing you're most here to be. So of course you've been batted around by the world, right? Of course people told you you were making too many mistakes, or you were too quiet and introverted, or you had, too much of a weird thing to say in the world. All of those things get layered onto us and we try to be something different. And in your content, you gotta go back to your profile. You gotta go back to who you are here to be for your specific soul fit clients. And when we look at your soul fit clients, we can also look into your human design and see who is going to receive your message best. So I start here with the nodes, the conscious nodes in your human design. And you know what I'm going to do, just in case you're here and you're not super familiar with your human design, I'm going to put a link in the show notes to a graphic that you can grab that will show you exactly where these pieces are that I'm talking about. So we look at the lines of your nodes, not the gates of your nodes. I'm looking at the lines specifically on those conscious nodes. And that's an indication as to part of who you're here to speak to. So let me unpack this for you here. Let's say that you are here to speak to third line profiles. What do you know about third line profiles in human design? They have a lot of shame around making too many mistakes, and I'm putting making too many mistakes in air quotes because there's no such thing as a mistake for third line profiles. But they bump into life and life bumps into them. They run fast and they break things. They're constantly trying new things that don't work in order to decide what does work, in order to understand what does work. So you need to speak in a way that lets them know that that's okay. Your content needs to be able to speak to their soul. Let's say that you speak to fifth line profiles. Fifth lines are square pegs trying to fit into round holes. At least that's how they feel. They've got so much projection around them. People expect them to save them. They say the things that, or they should, there's that word, say the things that nobody wants to say that are uncomfortable, right? And what do you think they've been conditioned against their whole lives? Saying the thing that needs to be said. They're too blunt. They're too this. They're too that. So you need to speak to the soul of them in order for them to receive your content, if that's who you're speaking to. So you're going to look at your own human design chart and find the people that you actually speak to. So that's just a little teaser for it. I mean, these are mini episodes, right? So I don't want to overwhelm you with stuff, but start there. And then I get how we fall into this pattern of posting nothing. The one final tip that I would leave you with to empower yourself to post whatever kind of content that you're creating is to be as you can be. And I know that that sounds la 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 la, but it's true. You're going to draw people to you when you are 100% you. I actually saw a reel by the founder of Instagram, and he was talking about the push more towards authenticity and authentic content on the platform. He's like, the overly polished things, that's not what's going to be resonating with people anymore. It's a push for authenticity. And if you're in this human design space, then you understand that that's the mutation that we're facing as humanity, right? Where there is such a drive for individuality and authenticity. It's coming, and you get to be part of that revolution if you're brave enough to stand in it. So for that, I would really start with your incarnation cross. Start with those top 4 gates, your conscious sun, your conscious earth, your unconscious sun, and your unconscious earth, because that is who you are here to be. That is your purpose. That outlines everything. And that's going to tell you a lot about how you do the things that you do. My incarnation cross is the cross of contagion. I bet you never would have guessed that, right? It's fire. So I bring the fire and I bring the intensity. And what do you think has been the thing that's been the most wrong? And I'm putting that in air quotes, the most wrong with me my whole life. You're too intense. You're too much. Can't you tone it down a little? So look to those pieces in your design to really see who you're here to be. And then I always invite you to come back to the thought and the feeling that you are someone's Oprah. Someone is looking at you and thinking, if she can do it, I can do it too. You have that kind of an influence on the people you are here to serve. So get out of your head, get into your design, and say what you came here to say. If you have a question that you would love to ask on this little daily drop mini series or any of the Unjaded podcast episodes, I've put my link in the show notes for you to send an audio message, and you may just hear yourself on a future show.